recently the DuPage County Health Department announced a major change to a program that has been operating here in the DuPage County area for many years. And we're going to get some background on the new part of this program and also some of the past history of it and kind of behind the scenes in the RX Box program. Joining us today from the DuPage County Health Department are Nicole Delaney, who is the RX Box Coordinator in the Environmental Health Department at DuPage Health Department, and Chris Hoff, Deputy Director of Public Health. So to Nicole and Chris, thank you very much for coming in today. I understand that you have some big news to announce in the area of the RX Box program and going into a new system. But Chris, let's start off with you if we can. Previously, what was the RX Box program, which our DuPage County residents probably have known for many, many years, very visible in the DuPage County area. What was the purpose behind the program?
So the RX Box program launched back in 2009, so almost 14 years ago, really as an effort to keep unwanted medication out of the groundwater. You might have heard people flushing things down the toilet or running them down the sink when they didn't need them anymore, which is good in the sense that people knew to take medications out of the house and to keep them away from other people, but they were going into the water system. And so RX Box was initially kind of launched as an effort to keep those medications out of water systems. Over the years, it really kind of evolved into a program that was really a critical role in keeping medications out of the hands of people that might misuse them, either out of curiosity or out of looking for drugs to support a habit or an addiction. And so for 14 years, RX Box has been a really important effort for us in keeping our community safe.
That's interesting. You mentioned they really had a two-prong approach for public safety, public health and safety. And as you say, people have come to know that. Do you know about how much has been collected during those 14 or so years that you said the program was operating in DuPage County?
Yeah, really an incredible amount. So about 160,000 pounds of medication, or 80 tons of medication was collected over the years. And that ebbed and flowed over the years as, some collections were bigger than others. But when you think about the quantity of medication that we safely kept out of the groundwater, safely kept out of people's hands, it's just an incredible impact to have. So we're really proud of what the program was able to achieve.
And I believe the program was made very convenient. There were very secure, well-labeled drop boxes. There's been one here in Addison, in the lobby of the Addison Police Department for many years. Is that typically where those boxes were located, at some sort of a 24-hour type public access area?
Yes, the RX boxes were all located at police departments throughout DuPage County. Offered a 24/7 access point. It offered somewhere that was secure. The medications weren't going to go missing after somebody put them in the box. And so Addison certainly has been a really critical partner in this over the years, as well as a number of other police departments throughout the county.
Yeah, right. So Nicole, it sounds like we're making a big change now and moving into a new phase of the program. Can you tell us a bit about that? And does the idea still remain the same, helping people get rid of unneeded, unwanted medications and dispose of them safely? Tell us about the new elements of the program.
Sure. The goal of the program is the same, is to help get rid of unwanted, unused medications. The major difference is that due to the Drug Take-Back Act that was put into effect this year, the medications take-back programs in Illinois will be required to be funded by the drug manufacturers. So the funding will change, and with that, a new company called Inmar Intelligence is coming in to help facilitate those collections.
Okay, now how will this work? What are the mechanics of the program? Is it the same? Do the boxes look the same? How about some changes that the public will see and people need to be assured of that it's the same program? Talk a little bit about that if you would.
For the public, it will look very similar. So the boxes will be in a lot of the same locations, different law enforcement agencies throughout DuPage County. The boxes look a little bit different. They used to be a white. It's very similar to a mailbox looking receptacle, except for now the ones through Inmar are a bright green, so they can still go to their local law enforcement agency to look for the box and drop off there. It's the same process. They bring the unused medication. It can be prescription medications over the counters that they can dispose of safely.
Okay. What happens when medications are put into these boxes? Under the old system, obviously we know it was kept out of the groundwater system. It was kept out of the hands of people who they weren't prescribed this medication, so they shouldn't have it at all. But what happens after you drop them in the box, the lid closes, you're on your way? how do I know this is going to be kept safe? So what's the follow through at that point?
Sure. The advantage is that it is law enforcement officers, so there is a security aspect of that, that they're trusted law enforcement officers, but also, so after they're dropped off by the residents, it is safely packaged and it travels to hazardous waste incinerators to be destroyed.
Okay. All right. That's interesting that it is considered hazardous waste at that point. Because you don't want that in the hands of people, or as you said, Chris, earlier, the water system. So did COVID pandemic affect this program in any way prior to the change in the law? Did you see an uptick in this? Did it change the volume of medications for either one of you really that were dropped off? And are we back to a kind of a recovery phase post-pandemic?
Yeah, we saw a drop off in collections during COVID as people were not out as much, or the collections weren't happening as frequently. We had one of our largest pickups in February after COVID, I think 8,000 pounds of medication collected. So really kind of boomed back to pre-pandemic levels as people sought to get rid of those medications safely. But certainly over the years, the demand to get rid of these medications has grown. People are more aware of the danger of having unused medication sitting around in a cabinet or a medicine drawer somewhere. And so we've seen increases over time, and really hope this new program continues to be an easy option for people to get rid of those safely.
Right. And with that, I would think that people are maybe more aware of the importance of not keeping a medication in their home. Well, I might need this someday. I can't, I guess that's sort of a common thought. And then you forget about these things expire. They are not any good to you once they expire. In fact, they could probably do you more harm than good, I suppose, over a period of time. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely best case is to take the medication that's prescribed to you in the way that it's prescribed. When you don't need it anymore, you get rid of it.
Right.
Saving it for a rainy day, saving it for somebody else that might need it is really not a good idea.
Right.
There's many ways that it can be misused, and so we want to help people find places to get rid of those safely. Our Xbox has been a big part of that. But over the years, we've seen Walgreens, we've seen CVS, other pharmacies expand take-back programs and other efforts that we want people to know are there and use.
Yep. Nicole, is outreach difficult in a program like this? Is it challenging to reach not just DuPage County residents in general, but various constituencies that maybe there could be, for example, language barriers, things like that? How do you overcome those challenges, and what's your best approach to doing outreach, letting residents of DuPage County know not only about the program, but now that you're transitioning into this new system? What are some of the best ways that you find work in terms of outreach?
Some of the struggles have been just understanding what is allowed, what is accepted in the box, what is not allowed, and also what to do with those items that aren't able to be destroyed in this manner. So one of the best resources is a lot of the municipalities have put in good effort going to different fairs, organizations to promote the program that they're participating in. So they will show up, they'll do extra collections on site at some festival, fair type, like senior fairs, and to be able to get the word out and explain in person to the residents what is allowed and what they can dispose of in this program.
Since you brought up what is not allowed, can you touch a little bit about that? And I know it's something that is going to probably be continuing into the new program, but would you say a little bit about things that are allowed versus that which would not be allowed in this collection program?
Sure. Specifically in the new program, the items that are not allowed are any illegal drugs, so obtained not through legal manners. Any thermometers that contain mercury, those are not able to be disposed of in this manner. Sharps, so needles, sharps of any kind, and then drugs that have a special safety protocol, so a radioactive medicine. Those would not be allowed. And in the new program, they're no longer allowing aerosol cans, so inhalers.
Oh, I see. And that was permitted previously, but
that's something on the label from Inmar.
Right, okay. And maybe we should just go ahead and say, what do people normally do? Okay, I've got this medication, it's in a bottle that it was prescribed in, or a container it was prescribed in, but it's outdated, or I don't need it anymore, I've got too much left over. Here I come, I'm driving over to the Addison Police Department. What do I want to make sure I've done before I can drop it off in the new, is it going to be called RX Box, or does it have a new name now? Or do you know at this point? Have we changed the name of this, or? To be announced.
It's I think a general drug take-back program.
Okay, take-back
that's
program.
run through Inmar.
Sounds good. Okay, so it's Inmar's take-back program. How do I have to have that prepared in order for it to be put into the new box? What's the best practice for that?
Our recommendation is to remove any personal information. So if there's a label that has your name or your personal information, to remove that. And you can keep it in the bottles or the blister pack, or you have the option to empty the pills into a Ziploc bag, something that can be tightly shut. For any liquids, we want it to be spill-proof. So liquid medications, we'd want it in the original spill-proof bottle, or maybe even also put into a Ziploc bag to help prevent any leaks inside of the containers. So that's how they can prepare their medications before bringing it to a drop-off.
Okay. When does the new program transition in DuPage County, or probably statewide, I would imagine? Is that right? This is a statewide program, so what is the transition date for the program?
So the manufacturer-led programs are required to be implemented by December 1st of this year. In DuPage County, many of our participating law enforcement agencies have already switched over and are working with Inmar Intelligence and have their new green collection receptacles.
Okay. And if residents have questions, they're uncertain, they still need some follow-up on this before they participate, or they've never done this at all and need a little background information, what would be the best thing for a DuPage County resident to do to help get their questions answered?
They can go on the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency page for the medication take-back program, and where they can find additional information about the new program and what's allowed. They can also visit the Inmar Intelligence page.
Great. Well, it is the new drug take-back program that is going to be taking effect here in DuPage County starting on December 1st. This is the former RX box program that you've been familiar with for many years, and now it is the drug take-back program that is taking place in DuPage County and beyond. So any unused medications, over-the-counter prescription medications, have them securely, properly sealed, follow the protocols, make sure it's the accepted type of medications that can be dropped off, and that could be done right here in Addison at the Addison Police Department in their lobby, and there'll be a box and location for that. So from the DuPage County Health Department today, we've been speaking with Nicole Delaney from the RX Box Coordinator, and Chris Hoff, Deputy Director of Public Health, both for the DuPage County Health Department. Thank you very much for coming in and talking with us today.
Thanks, Don.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.